The football world is in mourning today with the sad news that Diego Maradona has passed away at the age of 60. An idol and a hero to millions. It's that news that stops you in your tracks, Ali. Football has lost one of its true greats today.
Yeah, and the life story of Diego Maradona and what he is and what he means to people in the football world, it's a name that is unforgettable, regardless of how you feel about Diego and the things that he meant to you. And in particular, I can just only speak for myself and what he meant to me. I vaguely remember the '82 World Cup. And so for me, the '86 World Cup was the first real tournament that you can remember, and that I can name players, and that I collected the stickers and all those things that you do as a kid. And nobody wanted that sticker of Diego Maradona more than I did. You traded everything to get the Maradona collectible card because you knew what he was, and then you see what he was on the field, and you dream of being what Diego Maradona was, and dribbling through people and scoring those sort of goals in those sort of moments, and carrying your country to a World Cup title and doing it in the manner in which he did. So that leaves you with an impression that you just cannot do away with. And whatever he became later in life, whatever came after his career was over, and even during the latter part of his career, you easily sort of put that aside because you go back to those initial memories. And at least in my case, I just go back to '86. I go back to what he was doing at Napoli, and you just think of the greatness and the genius of a man that was such a contrast and a contradiction. He was genius and he was tragic figure at the same time. He was beloved and he was hated at the same time. He was polarized and he was vulnerable. A man with an opinion and a man who would stand up for himself and stand up for others and stand against others in a manner in which it wasn't popular to many. It wasn't the sexy thing to do at times. It was probably the incorrect thing to do, but it was who he was, and that has some value. It's just difficult to really separate what Maradona was on the field and off the field, because it's all part of a package that really encapsulates a difficult person to try to figure out both on the field and off the field.
And it's on the field, though, that so many loved him for, and he truly was a football genius, wasn't he?
Of course he was. The talent, the ability, the vision, the tight spaces, the dribbling with the ball, the finishing, the passing, the leadership, the passion, the fact that he carries a team, he puts that team on his shoulder and says, you know what, today we're going to win. And you're going to give me the ball and I'm going to do the job. And I don't care what else is happening around us. And I don't care who's against us. And I don't care if the world doesn't want us to win. We're going to win. And I'm going to be at the forefront of that. To be able to do that and actually carry it out on the field, it's something that really sticks with you. And I go back to 2014. I'm covering the World Cup for ESPN. And you're walking the streets of Rio de Janeiro, and you feel the energy as Argentina is advancing through the World Cup. And the song that the Argentinian fans, who were thousands and thousands of them in Rio de Janeiro, was not about Messi, was not about Higuaín, was not about any of the current players. It was about Maradona being better than Pelé. And that song played over and over and over again. He was a genius and a god to the Argentina people, and somebody who became such a man of the people, such a symbol of Argentinian soccer, and beyond that became a symbol of world soccer. He was the contrast to Pelé. Pelé was supposed to be sort of the commercial guy, was supposed to be the smile and wave sort of guy, and Maradona became the anti all of that. Very much beloved by the Argentina people and by those of us who watched him play in the way that he did things that nobody else was doing on the field. There's simply no words to describe him, and yet there are so many words to describe him at the same time.
Obviously, you grew up in Venezuela, Maradona Argentine, but what was it like growing up in South America when it's a continent that produced a player like this?
Yeah, and it's what camp you're in. Are you in the Pelé camp or are you in the Maradona camp? And when Maradona came to play in Venezuela, it's an amazing feeling. And yeah, he's playing against your national team, but it's Maradona, so it doesn't really even matter what happens on the game. It's just Maradona touching the ball. Maradona's in Venezuelan soil. This may sound ridiculous, but at one point in the Venezuelan league, Maradona's brother was signed to come and play for a local Venezuelan team. And that was a huge deal because Maradona's brother was going to play in Venezuela. It wasn't even Diego that was going to play, his brother that was going to play. But that's how much Maradona transcended everything. Just the name of Maradona, you just put it out there and everybody knows. My kid who's 16 years old, who had no idea who Maradona was as a player, well, when he's learning things out on the soccer field and he's been learning for a while, oh, you got to do a Maradona. He doesn't even know who Maradona was, and yet he learns the move that Maradona was supposed to be making. That's he transcends generations. It's a name that has a value and an importance in this game that will go well beyond all of us. We'll remember Maradona forever. I choose to remember him as a player. Others may choose to remember him for whatever else he did off the field. But what he meant to me and what he meant to millions of people on the field, that's the part for me that is unforgettable.
Yeah, it's a truly sad day in world football. The game has lost one of its true greats, the genius of the game, Diego Maradona. We send all our condolences to his family, his friends, and all those who loved him. May he rest in peace.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.